প্রিয় দর্শক এবং শ্রোতা, আপনাদেরকে সাদর আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি এটিএন বাংলায়। আজকে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে এসে হাজির হয়েছেন নিউ ইয়র্ক স্টেটের অ্যাসেম্বলিম্যান মিস্টার ডেভিড ওয়াফরেন, যিনি এর পূর্বে নিউ ইয়র্ক সিটির কাউন্সিলম্যান ছিলেন এবং ফাইন্যান্স কমিটির চেয়ারম্যান ছিলেন, এবং এর সাথে উনি গতবার 2011 সালে কংগ্রেসম্যান হিসেবেও প্রতিদ্বন্দ্বিতা করেছিলেন। আসুন আমরা ওনার সাথে কিছু সমসাময়িক রাজনৈতিক এবং ন্যাশনাল ইস্যু নিয়ে কথা বলি। হ্যালো মিস্টার ওয়াফরেন।
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here again.
Okay, it is great to have you in our studio today. As you know, you are a immigrant lover. As I know, you are from the immigrant family. But as a immigrant lover, I would like to first ask you a question about the immigration reform law. Last couple of years, we are hearing that there are something coming from the undocumented people, those who are living in America. But and it was promised by the President Obama too. He is going to do something, and he last State of the Union, he already spoke. He is going to do something about the immigrant. I would like to know what is in your mind, and what you have done as an assemblyman, as a councilman, and what is your plan for the future for the undocumented people, those who are living here long time.
Right. Well, I've been a very strong advocate for the immigrant community, as you pointed out. My mother emigrated here from Cuba in 1938. She came here from Cuba. She was 8 years old and didn't speak a word of English when she came to New York, to Brooklyn. She only spoke Spanish at the time. So I think it's very important that we integrate immigrants into our community, and we have to recognize that there are many immigrants that, for various reasons of safety, security, felt that they had to get out of their country, and a lot of the immigrants came undocumented, but they've been very important parts of our society. They've been working, they've been paying taxes, they've been bringing up families, and we have to recognize that. I've been a very strong supporter of the DREAM Act, the National DREAM Act, which allows children that came to this country, even if they were undocumented, to get the same benefits as anybody else that was born here, as far as getting student aid, getting financial assistance in order to help them with college. And I'm co-sponsoring a bill at the state level that also does it at the state level. So I've been a very strong supporter of new immigrants, and whether they came here documented or not, I think we have to recognize the great contribution that immigrants have made to our society.
Oh, great. This is great. But last State of the Union, Mr. President speak out about the comprehensive immigration reform, something about it. So what do you mean by it? Was we are hearing this comprehensive long time. So what does he mean in this speech?
Yeah, I know the President and the Democrats in Congress have supported a comprehensive immigration policy which is friendly to new immigrants, friendly to undocumented immigrants that have been in this country for many years. It's really been the Republicans in the House and less so in the Senate, because they're in the minority in the Senate, but it's a very close majority, have kind of resisted that. So, clearly there have been some states that have adopted anti-immigration laws, like Arizona and Alabama. I'm against those laws. I actually co-sponsored a resolution in the New York State Assembly opposing the Arizona law, which basically asks people that the uniform authorities, the police, suspect of possibly being illegal immigrants, asking them for papers. It kind of reminds me of situations in other countries where just because someone looks like an immigrant, they shouldn't be suspected of being here illegally. So I certainly oppose those type of laws, and I think we need more immigration-friendly laws, both at the national level as well as the local level.
As a Democrat leader and assemblyman, what is your stand about the Obama health care? Do you think that non-immigrant, I mean undocumented people are going to be benefited by his healthcare system?
I do. I think it provides an access to health care of millions and millions of Americans and millions of immigrants, many undocumented, can make sure that they have health coverage for the first time and that they have to be covered. So I think that's very important. I think we have a moral obligation to treat medically those in our midst that are suffering, that are that need medical care, regardless of whether they're legal or illegal immigrants.
Okay, as the middle class is the backbone of the country now. As a Democrat, you are in power last 3 years, but we did not see that much improve about the job crisis. What do you think to improve the job crisis in our country? What is the specific things as a citizen, our duty, and as a leader, as an assemblyman, your suggestion?
Well, the president has proposed a national jobs bill. The first thing is I would support that bill. It's the Democrats in the House have supported it. Unfortunately, the Republicans are in control in the House, and they've opposed it. At this point, the Republicans in the House are just playing partisan politics, and they just want to make sure that President Obama doesn't get reelected, so anything that he proposes at this point, they're going to oppose. I think that's wrong. I think we need a national jobs bill. I think we still have record unemployment. It's gone down a little bit, but it's still way too high, and I think we need that national jobs bill now.
Your district is a 24 district.
Correct.
As an assemblyman. But one thing in that constituency, we having some hate crime, which one everybody knows, it is in the newspaper, and especially our people, Bangladeshi people, are victimized. Specifically, 148th Street in Briarwood, 150th Street in Briarwood, and Jamaica Hillside Avenue, and around this area, we saw so many hate crime and victimized by the some kind of other people. Why it is happening again and again? And they are robbed, they are mugged, they have been beaten, and we still having that problem. What are you going to do about it?
Well, one is we have to fight crime regardless of the crime and increase penalties. But in the case of hate crimes, if you can show that there's a bias against a particular individual because they're religion, because they're Muslim, because they're Jewish, Hindu, because they're South Asian or Asian, or any type of ethnicity, we have to have more severe penalties for crimes that are established as being biased crimes. And that's why I've sponsored and increased penalties both at the city level and the state level for crimes that are biased crimes, to make them more severe, that they be treated more severe. And in the case of graffiti, anti-religions or anti-biased graffiti, we can't just treat it as a random act of vandalism. We have to treat it as a more serious crime. We've seen anti-Jewish graffiti in the forms of swastikas. We've seen anti-Muslim graffiti. We've seen anti-Asian graffiti. And I think we have to treat those type of graffiti as much more serious crimes than just vandalism.
Okay, David, how do you envision the future of America? In the next election, what is your main focus to involve the middle class and working class people, more independent people in your party to vote for you? What is the main focusing point?
Well, the main focusing point is to bring everybody into the tent. We have to recognize the contributions of our new immigrant community. In my district, in my area, I particularly want to recognize the tremendous contribution of the Bangladeshi American community. They've been in Queens, in New York, in this country for many years. But as far as small businesses and economic development, the Bangladeshi community have really been rising stars. They've really contributed tremendously to the economy, not to mention the culture of our community in Queens. And I'm very proud to represent a large Bangladeshi community and to be involved in that community for many, many years. So I want to thank all the Bangladeshi Americans who have really helped contribute to the American dream, to the American success, students have been stars in our public school system, gone on to college and medical school and graduate school and law school, and they've been a tremendous community in Queens, and I really want to recognize that tremendous contribution, and I'm very proud of my long-standing relationship with the Bangladeshi community.
David, when you are the councilman in the city council, you have done so much for the Muslim community. Can you mention some of them about?
Oh, absolutely. One is I was very active along with now Controller John Liu, who was head of the Transportation Committee, to suspend alternate side parking on the Muslim holidays. That was one. But I also co-sponsored a bill with Councilman Robert Jackson, who's the only Muslim member of the City Council, to have the high holidays in the Muslim calendar, days off from school, similar to what they have for the Jewish holidays and other holidays. So I think it's very important that Muslim students not have to choose between celebrating the high holidays with their family and having to go to school. So I thought it was very important, and I've been a very, very strong supporter of a lot of different events, involving Ramadan and different, breakfast meals and activities. And I've been a very strong supporter of the Muslim community in all my public life.
Finally, David, I wanted to be touched about your last campaign, Congress as a congressman, District 9, which one is Queens and Brooklyn.
Correct.
Yes. So we wonder, this is a 80 years, last 80 years, it was belongs to Democrat. And all of a sudden, this vacant seat, we lost.
Right.
What do you think? What is the reason behind it?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's not really 80 years because the district has changed. Every 10 years, the district changed. So the district has become more conservative. The last 10 years, it's leaned Republican in national elections. President Obama won the district last time, very, very close vote, but he actually lost the Brooklyn part of the district. He won in the Queens part, but lost in the Brooklyn part to John McCain. I actually won in Queens. I won Queens by about 6%. The problem, and Queens is about 2/3 of the district. The problem is I lost very badly in Brooklyn, and part of the problem was it was more conservative. They made it a referendum on President Obama, whose numbers were very low at the time, and I kind of suffered from that as a Democrat, and I wasn't as well known in the Republican part of the district. So that was, I think, part of the problem.
Thank you, Mr. David Oefren. It is our pleasure, and really we are happy to see you in our studio today, and hopefully we will see you again, and we will have a more discussion about the politics, national and local. Thank you very much. প্রিয় দর্শক এবং শ্রোতা, আপনারা এতক্ষণ আমাদের সাথে থাকার জন্য আপনাদেরকে আন্তরিকভাবে ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি। আশা করি আবার আপনাদের সাথে দেখা হবে এই ধরনের কোনো একটি অনুষ্ঠানে। সেই পর্যন্ত ভালো থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন।